Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a controversial video, so I'm sorry about that in advance, but I'd appreciate it if you would stick around and watch the whole thing. Trigger warnings for this video include food and eating disorders and feeding tubes and just overall medical issues. And today's topic is why I can't go vegan and why I can't even go vegetarian. So let's start off giving a little background about me in case you don't know about me. So I was misdiagnosed with an eating disorder when I was 17 and I was tossed in an eating disorder program. I didn't have an eating disorder, but I was restricting my diet from some nausea, and the nausea was caused by POTS. And with POTS, it makes me allergic to dairy, soy, and wheat, although I still eat dairy because I can't figure out how to cut it out of my diet. And then this year I was diagnosed with a stress illness, and essentially it just makes my nausea really bad whenever there's a stressor. So as you can probably imagine, eating food is really difficult for me. I deal with this anxiety and restriction that I have from the nausea from POTS, and POTS is something that will most likely not go away, and so I'm struggling to keep my weight because of POTS and because of the eating disorder type stuff. And then with the stress illness, I was hospitalized for 4 or 5 weeks and I had a feeding tube. And now I am drinking a solely protein drink diet because I can't eat solid food right now because of my anxiety and my nausea. So how does this relate to being vegan? Well, to start off with, the eating disorder anxiety type of stuff. So since I really restrict my diet and I struggle to maintain my weight, if I were to cut out something like meat from my diet or dairy or what's other animal products, egg, if I were to restrict my diet even more, I wouldn't be getting enough fuel in my body to help me survive and to function and to have the strength to do everything that I need to do. And I know that for some people you can just easily like go, okay, I'm gonna force myself to eat vegetables now and those type of stuff, but since I've already restricted my diet so much because of my fears and my nausea, restricting it even further could be potentially life-threatening for me. I could lose more weight and I could potentially end up in another eating disorder program, or I could end up with a feeding tube down my nose. So just in general, like if I were feeling my best that I can feel with POTS and anxiety, I can't go vegetarian or vegan without losing weight and potentially having life-threatening issues. And there's also the issues of, even if you don't die from eating disorder type stuff, from like restricting your diet, there's also the issue of stuff like you won't be able to have kids again, you'll have like permanent heart issues and different things. So even if it isn't life and death, like I would have permanent issues if I were to restrict my diet more. The other thing, and the more pressing thing, is what happened with the stress illness. So when I was in the hospital, I got a feeding tube, and with the feeding tube, you don't get to choose what goes down there. The nurses get to choose for you, and they put protein drinks down there. Now, unfortunately, most of the protein drinks, especially the ones that they put down your tube, have dairy in them. And when you have a feeding tube, they don't just give anyone a feeding tube. You have to be like in a somewhat life-threatening situation to get a feeding tube, or you have to like permanently not be able to eat for a while. And there's a lot of people who have tons of different medical issues that for whatever reason have to have a feeding tube, even if it's for a short period or for a long period. And so I can't go vegan because there's a chance I may need a feeding tube again in the future, and because I have seen how the feeding tube somewhat saved my life. So it's like, even though I never want another feeding tube in my life, if it comes down to that again, which it might because the stress illness goes through waves or it gets worse and it gets better, but if it does get that bad again where I need a feeding tube, I have to have animal products in order to survive. And now I'm currently on a protein drink only diet, and that is because that's all I can handle with my nausea and with my anxiety, and I'll slowly work on eating normal food again soon. But unfortunately, I have to drink these protein drinks right now in order to stay alive. Like, I would be dead right now if I stopped ingesting animal products, because I wouldn't have any protein drinks that I could tolerate, that I could get down. And I know that there's probably vegan protein drinks, but the thing is, I've tried some different types of protein drinks. Most of them are like, oh, they're so bad. I almost vomit when I try to eat them. And Ensures are the only one I can manage, and they have animal products in them, which is just dairy. I say animal products, I should just be saying dairy, because saying animal products sounds a little weird when I'm talking about this. So that is a very short explanation of why I can't go vegan or vegetarian. Now, I want to show you really quickly this TikTok, and it's an important TikTok, and it is the inspiration behind this video.
That is not true. Anybody can be vegan. Just try your best. Can't you try your best?
I don't eat Karen. This is the formula my doctor prescribes. Here's the list of ingredients. It contains milk. Not everyone can be vegan. Don't be ableist.
Now that you've seen the TikTok, I can never say the word right, but you will see that trying to tell everyone that they can go vegan and like trying to shame people for not going vegan or not going vegetarian is actually discriminatory and hateful against people with disabilities and chronic illnesses, because some of us don't have the option. Like, I personally feel bad about eating animal products. I feel bad about eating meat. And if I could, I would go vegan or vegetarian, but I physically can't without putting my life on the line. And there are tons and tons and tons of different people across the world that have this issue. And I'm not even getting into the issue today of some cultures have traditions that involve specific meats and stuff. I'm not even getting into that today. I could rant about that for days. I'm just saying that vegans and vegetarians shaming people for what they eat needs to stop, because you aren't considering people with disabilities and chronic illnesses. So before you go and post that post you wanted to make about how only baby cows are supposed to drink cow milk, maybe think about people with disabilities and chronic illnesses, because we don't have a choice. Would you rather us just die so that you could get your ideal world of having vegans and vegetarians? Like, would you rather just all of us with illnesses die? Make it make sense for me, please. Also, I want to be 100% clear that there's nothing wrong with going vegan or vegetarian. I actually encourage people to go vegan or vegetarian, just because veganism and vegetarianism aligns with my values a little more, and because it's better for the environment. But shaming people for not being vegan or vegetarian and constantly trying to convert people is not necessarily the best approach. Instead, if you want to convert people to being vegan or vegetarian, you should first be a kind person that people look up to and admire, and that people want to be around and hang out with and that type of stuff, and then just post about being vegan, not post about trying to convert people to be vegan. Like, that's the way to convert people to be vegan or vegetarian. And I mean, that's like the way you would convert people to be your religion. You don't just like shove it down their throats and that type of stuff. So yeah. Hopefully this video didn't offend too many people, but we really need to be talking about how it's not realistic for everyone with disabilities and illnesses to become vegan and vegetarian. Because sometimes it's a matter of life and death. Sometimes it's like we could die and be vegan and vegetarian, or we could survive and continue to consume animal products. So yeah. I hope this video was informative. I know that it's probably not the most fun topic that you've ever heard me talk about on this channel, but if you found anything in this video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry if I offended anyone in this video or upset anyone. That wasn't my intention, but I needed to talk about this. I need to get this off my chest, and I need to raise awareness that not everyone can go vegan or vegetarian even if they really want to. Yeah, I hope all of you are having a great week. I'm in no way judging anyone for their food choices or their food habits, so keep eating whatever you want to eat as long as you're not like eating something that's killing you. Like, I don't know, if you eat 4 McDonald's meals every day, maybe that's bad. I don't know, but like keep staying healthy, you know? Keep doing you, keep surviving, and yeah, I hope all of you have a great weekend, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye!